Welcome, everybody, to the Unlikely Brothers podcast. I am Jake Johnson, also known as Big Jake, also known as State Farm.
And howdy, y'all. It's Addison Lee Thompson, the Honky Tonk Heathen. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Unlikely Brothers podcast.
Here we go. We are live.
We are live for the first time ever.
Ever. Well, you can't really say you're live for the first time.
I
You've
guess
been live. You've been live a lot.
Yeah,
and I mean, so I've been live before too. So
yeah, that is true.
It's
Pulling
not-
drunk chicks off the stage.
that fucking sound guy.
Yeah, I know. We're just starting right out of the gate, just being blunt.
I mean,
it sounds
why
about
not?
right. Yeah, why not?
Hey, I mean, I'm wearing the hat, so we might as well just start right there. So
Oh yeah.
I got my really buck hat on.
So, Big Jake, what are we doing with these microphones and these headphones and stuff?
I mean, I don't know. You had a harebrained idea one night to start a podcast with me and you talking about guy stuff, and I was like, you know what, that sounds fantastic, and let's roll with it. And 2 weeks later, here we are.
Yeah, I know exactly. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this is the first episode of the Unlikely Brothers podcast. Me and Big State Farm Jake Johnson, the man of many nicknames. My name is Addison. I'm a country music artist. I don't know why that was so hard to say.
Why was that hard? Why was that hard for you? You've only been doing it forever. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know.
It'd be like me stumbling over if I said, "Hey, I'm a country music artist," because I'm not.
But on top of that, Big Jake is a very dear friend of mine, dare say my best friend, and also my tour manager, security, RV driver when need be, even though I drive Big Bertha better statistically.
No.
We'll get to that.
No.
We'll get to that later. Maybe later in this episode.
And I know that's going to be a different episode. That is going to be that whole trip right there needs to be its own episode. Colorado City Music Festival.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know.
So yeah, no, we got to leave some cliffhangers.
Yeah. So how's it going, buddy?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
Trying to do the damn thing. So just been working my ass off, being stressed out, and trying to get a shows booked.
Yeah, no, I know that, but we're getting there, man. It's just that old honky tonk life, as they call it.
The rise and grind.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So, how about, since this is podcast numero uno, we go through kind of how you and I met and how this came to fruition, other than joking about a harebrained idea.
All right. So you and I met in 2020 at Beards on the Rocks, or was it 2021?
It would have been 2020. It would have been 2020.
No, with 2021, we did 2020 online because of
Oh, that's right, because of
that one
COVID.
thing.
Yeah. So 2021, Beards on the Rocks, which for those of y'all that don't know, is a beard competition sponsored by Beard Mob and Big Sexy Beard Brand. Our brother Sean Glander, who is an awesome guy. Go check that out. That company
actually sponsors us both now. So
yes, sponsors us both now.
So we met there. You were setting up for a solo gig. I asked if you needed help, and you took one look at me. I was wearing a cutoff shirt, shorts, backwards hat. You're in there.
Yeah, you were.
Cowboy hat, your Coors Original tank top, your Wranglers, and your dirty ass boots. You took one look at me and said, "Do you know what you're doing?" And I said, "Yes, I used to do this with my old club." So you gave me a shot, and I helped you set up. That's how we met.
Hold up, the way you were fucking saying that, it was like the way you were wearing your Coors, and then just, do you know what the fuck you're doing?
Yeah. That's exactly what you said to me. You know what the fuck
That's
you're
our
doing.
entire relationship. It's just fucking like building each other up and then crushing how the other one.
Yeah. So no, that's how we met. So how did you become to be at Beards on the Rocks in 2021?
So Sean Glander, that puts it on, at the time was president of Beard Mob West Coast, and I had gotten to know him through an old competition called Mob Tana, because I lived in Montana for damn near a decade. So he showed up at that. My band was playing it, but at the same time, I was a member of the club and a member of that particular chapter, and I believe at that time their road captain. And so Sean and I met there, and as you know, with beard competitions, there's so much chaos going on.
Yes.
That not a lot of communication is happening. That's the one thing the bearding community sucks at. And Sean and I
would
immediately
wholeheartedly agree.
Oh yeah, no, it's the worst. Sean and I immediately were just BFFs because we're like, we're stealing beer out of this cooler and we're making things happen because you've got your organizer talking to your sponsors, you've got your judges talking to the organizer, and I'm just the band and the MC, and Sean's just kind of some guy standing there. If you've never been to a beard comp, folks, it's controlled chaos, and it's amazing we pull them off the way we do. But Sean and I just immediately were like, okay, we're going to pull off our own thing here. And we just became good friends out of that. And hence why when Beards on the Rocks rolled around, he was like, hey, that same communication, I could use that as far as a production standpoint. If you could bring all your sound and lights and all that shit. And okay, not a problem. Do it for charity, and showed up, and then your ass walked in with a beard down to your friggin' crotch, dude.
Nah, it wasn't that long 2 years ago.
No,
It is
it really wasn't.
it legitimately is now. I have to watch where I
So,
sit.
so realistically speaking, the reason I hollered at you when I was setting up is I remember when Sean's old house.
Yep.
And y'all, you and Summit, a friend of ours that I hope we can have on this podcast in the future, all walked in.
He's not a good podcast partner.
He's not a good podcast partner.
He gets you really drunk, and then he compares his dad to. Let's see, who did he compare him to on my old podcast?
Wait, Summit compares
Ron
his
Jeremy.
dad?
Ron Jeremy, because he's a big dick. So we drank. Him and I did a podcast, and we drank a bottle of Tin Cup, and did an hour-long podcast,
Okay.
an hour-long recording.
If we do it,
The last half hour was called "Watch Out for the Fuckery."
Oh my god! If we do it with him, we got to do it live then, because you and I can control him.
Oh yeah, no.
But like live,
we can mute his mic. That
oh yeah, dude. That's why we need to do it live, all three together, because I'll just grab his mic.
Yes.
But y'all showed up and you were like, yeah, I work in IT, and for some reason, my old laptop was just a bugger to work. Remember, and the friggin' music wouldn't come off the board.
Right.
So it was like, dude, how do you friggin' fix this? And you were like, oh yeah, no problem. So I guess that's how we kind of met, and then he ended up being my tour manager. And
well, you text me right after that and said, hey, do you want to be my tour manager? And I think my first question was, what the hell does that entail? Because I'd never, I'd heard of tour managers before. I've heard of bands and shit, but I had never been one. So you kind of gave me the lowdown of it.
And then you found out it entails making sure that the drummer shows up on the RV on time.
Hey, he hasn't missed a bus call yet.
No, he hasn't. Weirdly so, though. If bus call is 7:00, He gets on the bus at 6:59 on the dot.
Yes. That is facts.
He
pushes it to the limit, but technically he's been responsible. I mean, he's shown up.
Dylan is such an enigma in the stance of you'll tell him don't party your ass off, and he'll be like, all right. And you will not hear a bad thing about him from anyone involved with the show, but he will stagger onto the RV at 6:59 if you say 7 o'clock.
Well,
and you're like, where did you go, dude? But you'll never hear a bad thing. He's not a PR nightmare. He's not a belligerent party animal to where you're going, oh, Jesus Christ, dude. But at 6:59,
he will hit the door.
He'll hit that door. He'll stay up all night.
I was up, and then he sleeps all damn day, and then he's impossible to wake up.
Yeah, that ain't no joke.
So, we tried to wake him up when we got to Colorado City, and that didn't work.
So should we tell that story just to?
We can tell the Dylan story. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. We because obviously we got to leave some in the chamber. So I'll give some backstory, and then you can go from there. We did a show in 2021, 22. 22.
Yeah, it was early 22.
Colorado City Music Festival, which, by the way, we would love to come and play at again. Little shameless self-plug.
Shameless plug.
Yeah. Anyways, Colorado City Music Festival, which is technically in Hilldale, Utah. And we rolled up there on this RV that we happen to have called Big Bertha. We don't use her often. We'd love to get rid of her because she barely works. But either way,
shouldn't say that if we're trying to get rid of her. You're not a good salesman.
No, I'm not. But you know what? Someone will buy her. I just want to get rid of it at this point. Yeah. But either way, roll up there, drive through the night, and we show up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you park up here." And Jake and I go look at it, and just pure, like, I think we can easily say 12 to 14 inches of loose sand up in that parking lot.
I mean, it was a mix of sand and dirt, but yes.
Yeah, you were gonna bury this damn thing.
It was the Utah red dirt. So.
Yeah. So we're like, shit, pulling a trailer, we can't flip a U-turn. So we unhook the trailer, and we're like, all right, between Jake, who is a big weightlifter and into powerlifting and that sort of things.
I know my way to the gym.
Yeah, exactly. And if we could get like Jake, me, some random dude, and at the time, the way the band was structured, we had a 70-year-old, Andy was in his 70s, right? Yeah, 70-year-old bass player. We had a gal that was playing guitar. We're like, between Dylan, me, Jake, and somebody else, we can hand haul this trailer. So I go to wake Dylan up, and Dylan rolls over in bed. I'm like, hey, dude, we need your help. And he goes, huh? I'm like, dude, we need your friggin' help. And he goes, okay. He rolls back over in his bunk and goes back to bed, and I'll let you tell the rest of the story.
I mean, before you even woke him up, like we were yelling at him. Like we were sitting there like shaking him, talking to him. He wasn't moving. Like we were to the point of almost putting a mirror under his nose to see if he was still breathing. Like I was afraid he was dead because you said we drove through the night. Well, we literally did. We left that show in Phoenix at 11:45, and we got to Utah. We got to the venue where the festival was at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we drove straight through.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be what, a 7-hour drive, 8-hour. No, it wasn't. It was supposed to be a 7-hour drive. But
but Bertha doesn't exactly.
Bertha doesn't pull them hills, and
no,
if you're not familiar with northern Arizona and southern Utah, there's a few mountains.
Just a few, and it's easy to hit a 65. I'm sorry, a 35 mile an hour curve at 65.
I mean, yeah, that'll work too. Because the guy that owns it did it. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, so finally we actually get him woke up to the point where he mumbled like a little girl. And if you don't, well, most of you probably don't know Dylan at this point, but he's this tall and he's got long hair. So you see him from the back. I mean, you might think he's a girl. So I mean, it makes sense that he would mumble like a girl when he first wakes up.
He's gonna kick your ass here in this.
Do you think I'm scared of him? But
yeah, true.
So, we try and wake him up and try and get him out of bed to come help us move this trailer because we are going to have to. The parking situation was just not ideal in any way, shape, or form. So we get the trailer unhooked. We go talk to some random dude that was there helping set up and see if we can, at least get the trailer part way over towards where Bertha was parked. He starts backing the trailer up and he rolls down his window and says, "Do you know how to back up a trailer?" I said, "Have you never done it before?" He goes, "No."
Dude, I literally thought your head was going to explode when he asked that.
Because I had asked him that before. I said, "You know how to back up a trailer, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "All right, cool. Like it's your truck. I'm gonna let you do it."
Didn't they unhook it? Sorry, not to cut you off, but didn't they unhook it from like one of those food trucks as well?
No, he was parked in the parking lot across from the food truck.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he was actually. He was by where the food trucks were, but I don't think he was part of the food trucks. Yeah, I would get rid of that coaster. It's not doing the coasting job. So
no, it's not.
He starts backing this thing up, and it's a nightmare. And he knows it. And before he gets it too far out of shape, he rolls down his window and says, "Hey, do you know how to back up a trailer?" And I'm like, "I might have an idea." So we get it backed up, pulled forward, and we're probably still a good 20-30 feet from the back of the RV. That's as close as we can get with the way the parking was. So the rest we'll tell in a later story, in a later episode. But yeah, and then we get back inside, and Dylan finally had woken up and said, "Do you guys need help?"
Dude,
No. At that point, we did not need help at all. We had the trailer back, hooked on the RV, and actually returned the truck to the guy. You and I had actually gone and talked to. We went and talked to. We go talk to Larry, or did we go talk to Jake? We went and talked to someone, and then got back to we went and talked to Jake because he was parked right there at the top of the hill.
Yeah, he was in his van because
yeah,
that dude. Shout out Jake Shepard.
Yes,
that dude is a badass guitar player, but he was playing for multiple bands that day, including us. Without rehearsal. That's how good he is. Without rehearsal.
Yeah. So you and I get back to the RV. I mean, we'd been gone for an hour, and Dylan had finally woke up and asked if we needed help. So we just told him no and handed him a beer. And that's how the day started. I think I took about a 2-hour nap after that, though, because
dude,
I tried to get some sleep on the way up, but 25-mile-an-hour corners are treacherous sometimes.
In my defense,
nope. I know what you're gonna say here. I know what you're gonna say as your defense. And guess what I did on the way back down that hill? I looked in the rear view mirror.
That was in it didn't matter. They okay, nope. Fine.
No.
So, in case y'all are wondering, screw it. He's not going to want to talk about it, but I don't care. Those signs weren't there. when I hit those
Sir,
corners
sir.
north of Cameron, Arizona.
They were 100% there.
No, they weren't.
They did not put them up over the weekend. I
Yeah, they did.
guarantee
You don't know.
no.
I mean,
I guarantee no
are you an
DOT department.
aficionado on how the road crews in Arizona work?
I'm an aficionado of how road crews in every state work. They don't work on the weekends unless it's an emergency. Putting those signs up was not going to be an emergency because they were not new signs. I know the difference between weathered wood and,
God,
a new signpost.
well, before
So,
we get to
anyway.
BSing again, I feel like we should let people know, with this being the first podcast, some potential guests and some of the platform we're getting ready to offer coming up, if that makes sense.
We could do that. We could do that.
So
I'll let you talk about the guests. I mean, you're the one that has all the friggin' connections here as far as celebrities.
We got 2 guests for sure. Celebrities.
Hey,
we got. Well, I guess one of them. Well, they both technically are. Yeah,
exactly.
So right now we got.
If they watch this, they're not going to want to come on. Hey, guys, if you're watching this, it was Addison, not me. Please come talk to us.
Listen here.
You're welcome.
No, we got 2. So as far as future guests we have coming on, we have my buddy Troy Holland, who is a hunting guide, fishing guide, adventure guide in the state of Alaska. Born and raised there, great guy. We've got some very interesting stories that he's wanting to tell, and we're looking forward to interviewing him. As well as, if you ever watched American Gladiator, he played Wolf. I shouldn't say played. He'd kick my ass for that. He was Wolf.
Yes.
Professional wrestler, rodeo clown, country musician, Hollywood Yates. We're going to have him on here as well. And going to pick these guys' brains and see what they want to talk about.
And then we're going to talk about some cool shit.
And then
talk about a lot of cool shit.
I think you and I have been talking about doing some live events as far as taking some trips together.
Yep. We're trying to work out the logistics on those trips, and when we get those hammered out and nailed down, we will we'll definitely talk about it. You and I, when we're on tour, we'll do some behind the scenes type episodes where it's not necessarily going to be your traditional podcast, but it'll be we'll have conversation, we'll have camera set up, we'll have the whole 9 yards, but it's just going to be a glimpse into the life of being a country musician on the road and what that looks like, because it's not all the glitz and glamour that a lot of people think it is.
It really ain't. And there's other outside things that like you and I connect on, where we're looking at doing some fishing trips together, and we both have a love of barbecue and sports, hunting, just random things where we're trying to provide you guys with a platform where it's equal parts behind the scenes content as well as current things that are going on that's obviously plugging the brand, but on top of that, just random stuff that's fun to talk about and include you guys in the conversation.
Yeah. So we want to touch on all those things that he and I love, and him and I are so different, but yet there's so many ways that we're so similar.
Indeed.
That's one of the reasons we clicked right off the bat is our love for helping people. That's that's why he and I both joined the bearding community. It wasn't because we both had these magnificent beards. I mean, one of us does and one of us doesn't, and I'll let the viewers decide. You can't even see my whole beard right now, and I'm not saying the chops is a bad look, but the chops is a bad look.
Hey, I am proudly looking like a Civil War general, and I'm not mad about it.
general is a stretch.
All right, Civil War lieutenant.
Private. You're a Civil War private. You're a Civil War private. I mean, although back in the Civil War days, you would be one of the taller ones, unfortunately. So,
well, yeah, because they were all like 4'9" then.
Exactly.
You want to talk Civil War? We'll go all day, old son. That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I think we would probably lose a lot of fans.
Yeah, we probably would.
Not
for political reasons. Just
not. Yeah, it's not going to be an entertaining podcast.
No, because I'll give you the finer points on why Admiral Farragut.
Yeah.
Strategically.
What do you got in the wall behind you?
Right there? Oh yeah. So I've got. Actually, this is kind of cool. I've got a book from my buddy Dirk that is brand inspectors and the history of them in the state of Montana. And that's the poster that came with the book. And then we've got one of my old show posters right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's a lot cooler than what I have on my wall. I just got
how are your lights doing, buddy?
Hey, my lights are great. They're up. See,
can they go on red?
I don't like the color red, so no, they can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, no, they can't go on red. All
right, guys. So as far as what we got going on for the rest of this podcast series, I'll let Jake explain the particulars afterwards, but we got some cool guests lined up. First of all, we got my buddy Troy Holland from Alaska. He is a hunting guide, fishing guide, adventure guide. This is the guy to talk to if you want to hang off the side of a mountain or go have a badass hunt or catch a massive fish. He has grown up in the Anchorage area and the guy to talk to. So we're excited to hear about his stories and his experiences and just generally his upbringing and just such an amazing, wild place. As well, we have lined up a good friend of mine. He is a country musician, a rodeo clown, and he was Wolf on American Gladiator, as well as a professional wrestler, my good friend Hollywood Yates. So be looking forward to that. On top of that, Big Jake and I are going to be doing just multiple of these episodes with just him and I talking about stories from the road, what's going on in the music industry, what's going on in life in general. And be looking forward to our videos that we're going to do. The meal of the month. We're both going to post one. So be looking to that because we both have an affinity for the barbecue and the smoker.
Yes, we do. I mean, I love barbecue so much. I have a barbecue inspired. I mean, you can't really see it on camera, but I got a barbecue inspired tattoo.
We should do a cook-off episode. I'm just saying right now.
Oh yeah, when I come down there to Texas, I'll cook circles around you. But I mean that's fine. If you want to call it a contest, I mean we can call it a contest just to.
We'll see. My brisket blows yours out of the water. I'm just saying.
I mean anybody can cook a brisket. It's full of fat. It's full of flavor already. All you got to do is put it on the smoke.
All right, fine.
Cook something. It takes some technique and some skill.
All right, fine. I'll throw you a curveball. I can't eat fish because I'm allergic to it. My smoked salmon will blow yours out of the water, and I can't even eat it, so I don't know what it tastes like. And I guarantee you it will blow yours out of the water.
You do remember where I live, right?
Yeah,
Washington State.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, smoked salmon capital of the world.
Your point is?
Hands down. Your smoked salmon sucks.
We are making this a competition for this podcast.
I'm extremely confident in that.
Oh, we are so making this a competition. We are finding a panel of judges. I guarantee you mine will beat yours.
One question for you. What wood do you smoke your smoked salmon with?
It doesn't matter. It's a secret,
Oh,
Jake.
but it does, sir.
No, it doesn't.
Like a secret. I'll tell you straight out. Alder. You smoke it with alder.
No. That's
1,000%. Yes.
No.
1,000%.
No.
Yep.
We'll let our panel of judges. We're gonna set this episode up. We'll let our panel of judges decide this.
Is your loving and endearing wife going to be on the panel?
No. I'm making this totally unbiased.
Why?
Because she would be biased, and I want to prove that I'm right.
Yeah, she would be biased towards me.
Oh.
I mean,
game on. We are making that happen.
Tell me I'm wrong, though.
We are making that happen, my guy.
You can't tell me I'm wrong, though. All right. All right. We will come to you every week on YouTube. We will come to you every week wherever you can find podcasts. We will come to you every week or multiple times a week on TikTok, on Addison's stream on TikTok. We eventually will get our own TikTok, but until then, catch all of our stuff on Addison Lee Thompson on TikTok. And as soon as we get all of the particulars worked out for the YouTube channel and for the streaming services, we will post those. So look forward to doing this every week with you, brother. I really do.
Indeed.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Indeed.
So on that note, I mean, I would say cheers, but it's, bad luck to cheers and empty glass. So drink, I saw that. Yeah, we went through that whiskey pretty quick. So anyways, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will talk to you later.
Later, gang.